The annual Call of Duty game is here in the form of Black Ops 7. Can this game follow on from the fantastic Black Ops 6 entry, or should Activision have taken a year off? Let's discuss this and more on the Late Night Gamer podcast. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Late Night Gamer podcast. I'm your host Welchy, and joining me tonight, as always, is Mr. Pop Figures himself, Andy.
Hello guys, yeah, I'm so excited to be here for this episode on the podcast. I haven't played Black Ops 7, but I am hyped so much for this.
And also joined, as always, by our resident horror expert, Stephen.
Mr. Pop Figures.
Almost. I mean, I do have a lot of pop figures, but I'm not Mr. Pop Figures. There's only one Mr. Pop Figures here. Hello, guys. Yeah, it's lovely to be back. Obviously, wasn't around for the podcast last week due to being a bit poorly, so feeling much better now, and actually glad that I'm back. There was no way that I was missing out on a Call of Duty Black Ops 7 review. It's going to be a good one.
I probably shouldn't be doing this with my voice. I'm going to be muting myself a lot, so apologies in advance to everyone listening. But I will try and soldier on. So yeah, as we said, tonight we are reviewing the latest Call of Duty game, being Black Ops 7. Last year, me and Andy reviewed Black Ops 6, just before you joined the podcast, Stephen. I gave it an 8.5, and I'll mute my phone, apologies. Andy, I don't think you gave it an official score at the time, because I don't think you'd finished the campaign.
Okay.
But obviously, I know that you now like that game. You said it on other episodes after that, saying that you loved the campaign. And we all enjoyed the multiplayer, and I know Stephen, you enjoyed the campaign as well.
If I was giving it a score, if I was around at that time when it was reviewed, I probably would have gone as high as a 9, because I think it was one of the best campaigns in recent years, and I love the multiplayer and zombies. It was a really, really strong Call of Duty.
Yeah. Andy, as you already alluded to, you haven't picked up Black Ops 7 yet. Is there a particular reason why?
Well, initially, obviously, I was excited because, like you say, I enjoyed Black Ops 6, and the campaign on that actually got me back into sort of Call of Duty a bit, because I had gone off the multiplayer on gaming recently. And when they announced Black Ops 7, I was like, oh, okay, hopefully they're going to continue on then from Black Ops 6 and make another really good campaign, because they obviously know they've done well in the last game. Hopefully they'll just add to that. But then after, I didn't even watch them, but after hearing the reactions to sort of the trailers and the gameplay trailers that they released and the campaign trailers and the in-depth stuff, it wasn't positive. So I decided to sort of just hold fire, and that decision, I think, has been a good one based off what I've heard and seen so far. So unless it gets added for free, I don't think I'll be purchasing this. Yeah, which is unlikely. It obviously won't go on the store for free, but yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, I remember being worried after seeing the trailer. The first trailer obviously looked good with, I can't remember the actor's name, but Peter Petrelli from Heroes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was promising. I was always concerned that Treyarch are going back to back. This was Treyarch again, right? It's definitely Treyarch before
Yeah.
So going back to back like that concerned me. And then some of the future trailers concerned me. But let's go into our review. Stephen, you have played it. What did you think of Black Ops 7 as a whole package, being campaign, multiplayer, and zombies? And what score would you give it out of 10?
Okay, so this is nice and fresh in my memory, because I've spent majority of the weekend getting the campaign done. I was really excited. I mean, I've played every Call of Duty since the original. Sort of when I started Call of Duty back in 2010, I went back, and from Call of Duty 1 all the way up to now, I've done all of the campaigns, played all the multiplayers, and whether that's like zombies or special ops, I've always enjoyed a Call of Duty title. This was a direct sequel to Black Ops 2, which I loved the campaign to Black Ops 2, and I love Heroes, so I was really excited by that. Obviously, there were some things regarding the multiplayer from the early access that kind of concern me, but I thought as long as they don't mess up the campaign, and zombies is a lot of fun. If the multiplayers were really shit, well, I've got Fortnite these days and other online games like Rematch, EFC. It's not the end of the world, and they normally throw in like a Nuketown map, and that's just quite fun, running around and shooting people in Nuketown, because that's predominantly what I played in Black Ops 6. I was actually at Chloe's the day that it came out, and I was brought to my attention to a TikTok video that basically said the campaign is all co-op. And when I looked into it further, it was like, you can't save it. Like, there's no checkpoints, no difficulty levels. And I said to Clary, I was like, wow, that sounds absolutely awful. But I thought I'll still go into it with an open mind. It's fair to say that this is by far the worst Call of Duty that we've had in a long, long time. I mean, this game is an absolute mess and a half. It is ridiculous to the point at moments. I will be fair and state that in terms of the campaign itself, there was one mission that I really liked, and it was really frustrating because there were moments in the campaign for me where I was like, that's really cool. That's a cool bit of the mission. That's quite a cool little setup we've got. But it just descended into just, I don't even know where to start, Welchy, with this. That's kind of where I'm trying to do it systematically. I think I'll start with a few positives. Playing as Pete Petrelli was cool. Seeing Cordisty, Manuel Menendez again, and being the sequel to Black Ops 2 was cool. In the first mission, there was some over-the-top moments, but nothing awful at the start. But it did get progressively worse. My main gripe with this game is I don't understand in the meeting that Treyarch had why they thought, you know what we're going to do, guys? We're going to make this a co-op campaign. Now, you can play it solo. I did play the game solo. I didn't want anybody playing with me. But the game is so tailored for co-op experience. And that being said, I don't know if you found this, Welchy, that it was just so over the place in terms of that you would have moments where the enemies would come at you and they were so powerful and did so much damage that there were a couple of times where I went down because there was no way out. There's one moment on a boat in basically the map in Black Ops 2 that I really like. There's that mission. Yeah, hijacked. And there's this one point where you've got to set off an EMP, you wait 60 seconds, and you just get absolutely like pulverized by robots, enemies, militia. You've got a chopper getting at you. And before that, I hadn't died or gone down at all. But I died 3 times. What was good is that the game is quite forgiving. Even though it doesn't have checkpoints, it only took me back to sort of the beginning of that sequence. But it did feel to me that even with co-op players, I don't know how you go through that sequence so you don't go down, because there's just like you're in a confined space. There's nowhere for you to turn. In other missions, there were so many open world bits, but then the AI was stupid. And I mean, like, on the point of like the most ridiculous AI I've ever seen. I think it was the second mission where I had a whole sea of enemies and I had to go to this container. So I just thought, if I just go around the side of the map, jump in the car, right, maybe they're going to follow me. No, they just stay still like a statue. They just don't move. So I was like, at times, it was too easy. At other times, it was ridiculously sort of getting to the point that you kept going down. So the balance was just so off. Not to mention that I had so many bugs in this. I didn't get booted off the servers because that was my other worry, that I thought I didn't want to get booted off and then have to restart. I read online that, I mean, this is mental. We're in 2025. You can't pause the game. And if you're inactive for, I think, 4 minutes, it boots you out to the very beginning. So I think Addy, you messaged me on Saturday night, and I had to then make sure on my timer that I was answering you within 60 seconds, because I was terrified that I was going to get booted out. Because literally, if you started a mission, I would have to say to the family, I'm going to start this mission now. Unless the house is burning down, do not disturb me. I can't leave the game. I can't pause the game. I had to sort of schedule my time when I knew that I wasn't going to have to do anything else. And it's like, that is mental. That's like on par with Returnal, in the fact where they said you had to keep your PS5 on at the very beginning to complete it in like 12 hours. Like, I love gaming, but I'm not that sad to the point that I'm not going to do that. So I had to kind of do it in sort of like late evening bursts, and I just kept going. But I knew that once I got to the end of a mission, if I wanted to stop at that point, I would then stop. One trophy bugged out, so I completed the whole campaign, and one trophy just for some reason didn't pop. I think it's the second or third mission. I got all the other ones. So because it's online servers, for whatever reason, I don't know why, I'm not bothered about that, because I'm not going back and replaying this. So fuck that trophy. The thing that really annoyed me, so I had my squad on no fill,
Yes.
And I kept having people join my lobby. How on earth is that possible?
So, question: did you actually see them running around, or did you just hear them?
I heard them.
Yeah.
I think I had one mission where I saw. That might have been in game actually. No, I heard them. So I kept unmuting my mic, and
Yeah.
I was really rude and said, "Can you fuck off of my lobby? This is my lobby. Go away." And I even like at one point it was the start of mission. I exited the game. Then I thought I'll restart. Make sure it's sometime it is on no fill because sometimes like in Fortnite,
Yeah.
like I'll start a
Unticks
game
it.
thinking it's on no fill, and then I thought, hang on a minute, well, have I got teammates with me? I can confirm it absolutely was on no fill, and I just kept getting them
Yeah,
join.
I had that as well, where I'd be the mission would be loading, and I could hear someone play with their mic, and I was thinking, ah, fuck, I forgot to unselect it. But then when I actually the mission started, they were gone. So I didn't.
Yeah,
It didn't actually change anything. It was just I panicked,
That's
thinking,
weird.
why
Yeah.
can I
it,
hear
But
someone? It's
maybe
almost
it's
like the
like
game thought they were sending me someone, and then it was like, oh shit, no, he doesn't want someone. Send it somewhere else.
yeah,
no, you know when you're like searching for a multiplayer game and it like
Yeah.
flicks through like matchmaking and stuff, and sometimes you get
Yes.
like different lobbies.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
like potentially it's like
Maybe.
them doing that with people. Like all the people that are searching for lobbies at that time for the
yeah,
campaign are potentially like flicking through that sort of middle screen, and that's
yeah.
when you can
Yeah.
like hear them and stuff. So, but yeah, that shouldn't still. It's
It-
campaign that shouldn't be happening, sort of thing.
I know it was just like it was terrible. I know our friend James said that he's kept lagging like all the time, so I didn't have any of that. But I can imagine having that on top of all of the other problems. The other thing as well, so like the nightmare sequences, we have to talk about them because like in Black Ops 6, there was that mission where you're infected and you have all of those different zombies and you had like the Weeping Angels, and I feel like that was done really well. It kind of played into the horror category. This is just
Yeah.
like it got to a point where I was like, is this Call of Duty? When you have the big boss battle on the bit of sand, the guy, so you have all four of your teammates in one mission get affected one by one,
Yes.
and it was the big robot dude that I just had to keep shooting in the like almost like in a desert area, and you've got he's got bombs coming out of his mouth. That sequence,
the guy from The Walking Dead and
yeah,
Guardians
that's
of the
it.
Galaxy. Yeah.
Yeah. So at that point, I'm like, this isn't Call of Duty. What the fuck is this? Like, why? We had like one moment in the first mission with the boss battle with when it was a snapshot of Raul Menendez, and then you had to keep throwing the cluster bombs down. And I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. But it got to a point where I was like, you're fucking enough with this, right? Just stick to the point of the, you've got quite a cool villain. I mean, like, there's been worse Call of Duty villains, not great. The main girl in this, I mean, she doesn't really offer anything to the story, but like, at least keep it realistic. I know that it's meant to be futuristic and this kind of, I can't remember what it's called now. I played it fucking yesterday. The hallucinogenic gas.
Shit, I can't remember either.
Yeah, but basically, like this gas would give you hallucinations of regrets that you had. So, like with with David Mason, he would have hallucinations of his father not accepting him. But then, like every character goes through that hallucination. But it just got to the point where I was like, this is right ridiculous now. I get it. Like we need to move forward from this because
Sorry,
you just spend way too long.
The Cradle.
The Cradle, that's it. You just spend way too long having to deal with the Cradle. Like just way too. I don't know if you agree with that, Welchy. It just got ridiculous. I got halfway through and I was like, I don't want to ever see this Cradle gas ever again.
I'm really struggling to not constantly interrupt you in your not to be rude, but I've got so much to say about this game. But I think normally I would like try and make it conversational, but I think in this particular case it's going to be good to have your view without me interfering with it. I will give my points, but yeah, the Cradle stuff, I've got a lot to say on it.
Yeah. It was just all over the place. Like there was also, as I said, in Disruption when you called the MP, I died twice, but I was like, there's no way you could survive that. And the only mission that I absolutely loved was a mission called Suppression. This is a homage to the Fukuda mission in Black Ops 1. I also love zombies, so the fact when you start with absolutely nothing and they basically recreate the Fukuda mission in Black Ops 1, which you then replay in Black Ops 7. And I remember that mission. It was one of the very first Call of Duty missions I played. And that was done really well. I'm not going to be completely like horrible to the game. That mission on its own demonstrated that they could have had something with this campaign. but then it just goes into another fucking hallucinogenic sequence where I'm like, I don't need that. I absolutely don't need that. The thing that really, really grated me was that the game builds up to this end game sequence at the very end, which is basically their attempt of Warzone. I literally did 5 minutes of it and I X-filled out. It was fucking pointless. Like, it doesn't even tell you at the end of the game that that's what you've got to do. It just loads up into this end game, which I already knew of. But it was like, you're building up to this, but you don't tell me anything about it, the benefits around it. I don't get what the point of it is. I generally have no clue.
I think
And
it's for
I
people
can't.
that don't want to do multiplayer. It's another thing for them to do. It's like, because obviously they still have zombies. It's like having an extra thing, an extra co-op experience.
Yeah, it was, but to me, it just doesn't serve any purpose at all.
I
Like
agree.
it's dog shit, absolutely dog shit. So I did it for about 5 minutes yesterday and thought I'm never playing that again. Multiplayer, same old, same old. Like I did quite well in the first couple of games. I posted on the Discord that I was having quite a good time, and then I just started coming up against sweats that were drop shotting, using all the futuristic shit. That's why I didn't like the futuristic multiplayer Call of Duty games. Like I can't bother with that. I did a few of the Nuketown 2020 2025 maps, but like,
Oh, is that out now already, Nuketown?
yeah, they've got that as a place. I did
Course
a
it
couple of
is.
those at the weekend. Zombies as well. I'd be curious to see what Jack thinks about this. I played Dead Ops Arcade, which is probably my favourite thing that I've done across Black Ops 7. But I did the new mission, which basically is a homage to Transit. So, you know, the guy on the bus, you drive the car, and that little character with the blue eyes is back there, and that's really cool. But again, they've tailored zombies for co-op. You play it solo, you have to kind of shoot this reactor to then turn on the power. You get 20 seconds and you get a whole barrage of zombies no matter what round you start it on. So I feel like unless you've got somebody with you, it makes it really difficult to then unlock that. And they give you every perk but Jug. So Jug, you have to do a special Easter egg to obtain. So I got to round 9. I had 2 massive dudes, and I went through this like cloud of ash to try and work out where Jug was. Oh, it swarmed. I died. And I think to myself that I really want to be able to play zombies on my own and still do well. Like I've always got to like round 20 to 30, depending. Once I've got used to the map, like last year, I got to like round 35 on that map. So like I'm not a bad zombies player, but I feel like it's awful that they've decided that, well, you've got to have someone with you. That's how it feels. Now, I could spend time and study it and work out what I've got to do, but I don't want that with zombies. I just want to go in and have like what it was in old school zombies, where you would just, you know, have lots of your perks, get pack-a-punch guns, and see how fast you could survive, work out the rate train spots. Like last year, we got that with Black Ops 6, and in previous Call of Duty titles, they've always had that. I just think it is so unkind. It's almost like, you know, I want to say to Treyarch, I might not have any friends. I might not have anyone to play with. Like, are you going to consider us, or are you just saying, oh no, you've got to now play with random people? All in all, it's not great. There's a few fleeting moments, and that's what I think I'm really upset about. That there was a few times where I was like, cool, let's do that. No. Oh, okay, I like that. Let's do that. Apart from one mission, and one mission over 11 missions, which probably took me the best part of maybe 8 to 9 hours to complete, it's just not worth my time or my energy, really.
So what score are you going to give it out of 10? This is the big moment.
Oh,
3 out of 10.
oh, that's right.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is lower
gets-
than I thought. From what you were saying, because obviously you were negative, don't get me wrong. But the 3 is, 1 is disgrace, 2 is awful, 3 is bad.
Yeah, it's bad. I'm giving it. I can even tell you exactly why I'm giving it 3 marks. Why I'm giving it a mark because Peter Petrelli's in it, quite like him. 2, the suppression mission, and 3. I think the only thing that I kind of get, and I think if the multiplayer was good, it was fine. That this is the first Call of Duty that I've like leveled up so many different guns. The only reason I've done that is because when you're playing the campaign, it's online. So I leveled up like 30 levels, and like I've got snipers that are like weapon level 7, 8, 9. Because I realized very quickly that if you got elite snipers, a lot of those were like just 1 shot, 1 kill. So I utilized that and was able to clear out a whole group of enemy quite quickly. And loads of my other guns like SMG. So if this was like getting to like your Warzone days where you're, you know, when like you did, Andy, where you went online and leveled up lots of guns, quite cool that you can kind of do that in the campaign. But because the multiplayer is so shit, it don't matter. and I feel like maybe the only thing that I might do on the game is you do get a trophy for prestiging, and I'm like over halfway, so I might literally just get prestige to get that trophy if it actually works. Um, but I can't see myself playing again. I am going to try zombies with with my friend James, because I feel like having somebody else, it might be a better experience. But outside of that, there will be no reason for me to go back to Call of Duty this year, and that's a real shame. So that's why it gets a 3 out of 10.
Wow. Well, where do I take off from there? I think what I'll do first is go through Jack's thoughts. Jack can't make it tonight, but he has sent me his thoughts on the game. He is focused on zombies. Actually, that's all he's played on Black Ops 7 so far. So I'm going to read that out now. So he has said, zombies so far for me has been great. The launch map,
Okay.
Ashes of the Damned, is excellent and does a good job in not just feeling like a cheap nostalgia hit with the old maps and characters incorporated. The mechanics stay the same from Cold War zombies onwards, so the purists still won't be happy with it. But at least this is their... at least this time there is cursed mode for anyone who wants a challenge and point system of old zombies. The Easter egg I haven't completed yet, is stuck on the boss fight, but you can tell they're looking to make the steps a little harder than last year, which I'm happy with. He's happy that this year, with the vibe of the zombies map, feels more dark and gritty than last year, and with the trailer for season 1 we recently got, it looks like zombies has got a lot more focus this year, and we'll be getting some really great maps. With the whole mode being set in Dark Ether,
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see how the types of maps we get and how the rest of the story will pan out. Zombies mode for me is a 7 out of 10. How the rest of the game scores is up to you two. So,
I think
See, I also think because zombies is Jack's bread and butter, and
Yep.
he like when I was doing my 24-hour stream, he was telling me things that I didn't even know you could do in zombies. So like my issues with it won't affect Jack, so it's great that he's got much more out of it. Because I mean, is he playing with other people
I
or
don't
does he
know.
play
It's
on his
it's a
own?
good point. I think he plays with other people. I think he plays with randoms.
Oh, okay. Because then if he's got other people that he's playing with, then maybe as well his experience will be different. So that's something also to note. Like I said, zombies for me should be for people like that who like go into all of the Easter eggs. There was a time that I was that zombies player back in my Xbox days, but now I play it a lot more casually. So like why I love Dead Ops Arcade so much is that that is literally what it's always been. That it's got I think either a slight easier mode or a difficult mode, but even the casual mode, once you start getting to like 9 and 10, it starts to go absolutely berserk. But it's just simple. You're creating points, you're killing people in an old school retro game, getting lots of different perks, and seeing how long you can survive. And that to me is what zombies should be. I don't quite get why they would want to make it more challenging, particularly they're already getting hate in all of their other areas. So that to me, I'm a little bit confused about. But I could just be an alone voice in that.
I don't think they was expecting the hate, though, if you know what I mean.
No.
Like, I think maybe they were. Maybe this was a cash grab, which I think it could have been. What do I think of Black Ops 7? I think that it's an absolute fucking disgrace of a game. It is an absolute shambles. It is an actual piss take of the gamer. I mean, so let's start with my worry about Treyarch doing back-to-back games. I think that Xbox, now the company that owns this, they own Activision, needed a Call of Duty game this year. Whoever's making it, I don't know who was meant to do it this year, Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward, whoever it was, is not ready. They weren't ready, whatever reason, or it wasn't looking good. So they said to Treyarch, you need to give us something within a year. And I think it's Activision. I'm not blaming Treyarch here. This is Activision or Xbox's fault. It's a management fault. This game should not have been released. They should have taken a year off because this is bullshit. How they can go from Black Ops 6, which is a fantastic game, around the board apparently. I don't do zombies. I love the multiplayer on 6 at the time, and I love the campaign. How they went from that campaign in particular to this is astounding to me. And I want to go to your point about the cradle stuff. They obviously saw that we all loved that mission in Black Ops 6, which we all did. And they thought, oh yeah, everyone loved that. Why don't we make a whole campaign about it? No,
Yeah.
that is not what we wanted.
No,
This is
absolutely
no
not.
longer Call of Duty to me. This is it's a pile of shit. I don't even know what to compare it to. It is just horrendous. They
God.
The choice for co-op is interesting. I played it single player as well. It's a stupid decision. One, because people like playing campaigns on their own. Two, if you're gonna make it co-op, give us a fucking reason to be co-op. There's nothing in that campaign that I played single player which makes me think I wish I had someone there with me.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
no co-op features other than you would have 3 people running and shooting with you.
Do,
Do you know what I mean? There's nothing there to say that's a co-op experience.
yeah. Can I just interject on one point? Because I will let you go
Mm.
through all of your points. But the other thing that really pissed me off was that it would have cutscenes with all of your teammates.
Yep.
And you go into the game and you're on your own, and they would be talking to you as if they were fucking there,
Yep.
which is just like nonsensical. It really started to trigger me. And then like there would be these moments. I think like in the last mission where you've got to do those puzzles towards the end to activate the generator to then go up, and they would keep going. Someone needs to be on there's like a wheel that you have to spin for this massive
Yes.
sort of thing to go up, and like they kept going, someone needs to do it straight away. And it's quite worried me, thinking, have I got like a time here? I think no, I can't. I've got about 50 trillion people coming at me. I can't do that, otherwise I'm going to go down. So stop going on. But like in co-op, you probably would be able to have somebody steering it and then other people shooting potentially. But like if you're going to have it co-op, to have a setting that isn't co-op. Because like the other thing, I love having difficulty levels. And I mean, I'm glad there wasn't a veteran, because there'd be no fucking way I'd be doing that campaign on veteran on my own. But I was annoyed that that wasn't there. So yeah, that really, really pissed me off throughout the game.
Yeah. I see your point on the turning the wheel thing, but to me that's not enough of a co-op feature.
It's not, but I can understand why you might be able to get that done quicker if you've got
Oh,
somebody.
definitely, yeah. But you can get the whole
with
game
you.
done quicker with more people. I
Yeah,
think I think this was rushed. It was rushed. They panicked. They didn't have time to make a proper single player game. They didn't. They didn't have time to make the excellent missions we had last year, like the horror bit. You had that mission, I can't remember where it was, which was slightly open world. And you had to go to different points in the map last year.
yeah,
And if you did all the side
Oh,
stuff,
yeah,
you
I
got
remember.
like an extra
Yeah.
bonus, whatever it was. Then they
yeah,
had the
yeah.
mission where you was in like the casino room, which was fantastic. So many different missions. I remember a year later. I can
Yeah,
guarantee you, I will not remember any of this next year, any of it. And my favorite mission, I hated the one you was on about, Stephen. I have to say, I
no,
hated
I
that
did.
mission.
I
And there's a reason for that, and it's the reason you point out. The whole point in that mission is that you're meant to relocate with your teammates. There's no one there. What the
Yeah.
fuck? I get it. I know. The reason I'm not going to give this the lowest possible score is because I didn't play it co-op, and it might be slightly better in co-op. But if you're going to give people the option to play single player, have the other people there. It just blows my mind that they made that decision.
Yeah, I
to
agree.
have no AI over there. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. I did actually. I put it in our group chat, and I said I've done a really cool mission, and I know Welch, you're going to absolutely hate that mission.
Yeah.
So I'd already preempted that you weren't going to enjoy that. But that is a really cool mission. And that's the only mission in the whole of the game that I was like, if we had every single one of that, it would have been a much better campaign.
See, the one I liked was Mission 5, which was Hijacked, the map from the Black Ops 2. And it made me laugh because that is the only mission in the whole game where you don't play as the original 4 characters. You play as a whole
Yeah,
different set of characters. And that's the
yeah,
only time you play as them. So I was like, okay. And it's nothing to do with the characters, by the way. The mission was just, it felt like the most linear mission in the
yeah.
game, right?
Did you agree with the end bit though? That
It
it
was
was
tough,
just
but I was enjoying that mission, and I logged
yeah,
off
yeah,
that night thinking, okay, if we can now go that direction more often, it's not going to be an absolute disaster.
yeah,
And then the next mission, straight into the open world bullshit. Uh,
yeah,
the amount of time you spent on this massive map, which is essentially the end game map, was so jarring.
yeah,
And I agree with you that there was points in this game where you're overloaded by too many enemies. There's one point, I can't remember what mission it was because it all just blurs into one pile of shit. But there's one bit where you're basically, and most of the missions are this, you get to this point, oh, well, loads of ways of enemies to come and defend a point. Fuck off, it's so boring. And there's one point where it's quite open and you're getting every side. And I was running around and they were chasing me, and I was like, I don't know
Yeah.
what to do here. I'm
It's
turning around, there's 20 people there just chasing me, and not in the scary way that Black Ops 6 did it with the mannequins.
no.
This was just stupid AI chasing me, not even shooting me at this point, just chasing me. And
Those commando fucking things that with the knife that would just
they got
run
me a
at
few
you at
times. Yeah.
pace. I think the other one as well, it's when you go back to it's one of the guys who shot Woods, I think it was, and you're on the flyover, so like you have to dodge the traffic, and
Oh
then
right,
there's
right. I've got a
the
whole chat about that mission, Stephen.
oh okay,
I
but
watched that. But
there
yeah,
was
that was
there was
pretty
another bit where I got to like I was having cover behind cars, but then you had those fucking machine robots that would then run at you, and I got to a bit where I was just stuck in between a bus and a car, and I was just getting wiped. I mean, I went down for it 3 times, and then I realised that if I just run as far back as I can go with my sniper, I can then take out a lot of the main waves. But I had to constantly think ahead. I kept having to get guns, run back, find a vantage point, shoot. Sometimes I was able just to run and gun through, but that goes back to my earlier point of that some parts of the mission a breeze, other bits of the mission, because not only have you got your health gets increased over the course of the game, but you start out with 5 armor plates, and there are lots of caches round where I was consistently getting more armor plates because I was just getting absolutely like decimated by enemies, but there was a cache right there. So I was able to just quickly do that, run back in. So there were ways around it that didn't make it like impossible. But I agree with you. There were just some aspects. I was like, what the fuck do you want me to do? What are you expecting me to do in this situation here?
Yeah, and that one where I'm running around in the open bit, I found it so frustrating. And then the next part of the game, I could literally run across the map with no enemies at all. About a good,
Yeah.
a couple of minutes of like just nothing happening other than me running across the map, and I'm like, this isn't Call of Duty. Call of Duty is meant to be this tight campaign with set piece moments.
Yeah.
Was there a set piece moment in this game other than the last mission, which is bollocks? Oh,
No, there wasn't.
as you can tell, I did not like this game. It's atrocious. Their mission with the cars was a piss take. That was an absolute piss take. Cars going down the road and you're dodging them like it's fucking Temple Run. This is
Yeah.
fucking Call of Duty, man.
They
Fucking
they
what a joke.
they had a mission in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare where you had to run across the street, basically. And I remember at the time thinking, why am I doing this? There's a massive flyover. I remember, so you're on a bridge, you've got to fly over a bridge. If you just run over the bridge, you go to the other side. So I don't know why they put it in. And at the time, they got slated for that. That was Sledgehammer Games. It wasn't Treyarch.
Yeah.
But why? Why have I got to do this? I actually think I let myself get hit once just for the fun of it, just because it was quite nice to see. I was getting annoyed by the team, so I was like, all right. At that point, I knew that I wasn't going to have to go back to the very beginning. Because could you imagine, Welchy, what this game would have been like if you died and it took you right back to the start? Because that was my worry when I heard about not being able to pause or any
Yeah.
checkpoints.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here right now. As in, not with a full review anyway. It'd be a very partial review. I have nothing positive to say. I've got nothing. I mean, okay, I got one thing. I quite like they gave you the option to go third person. I think that was a nice
Yeah.
touch. That's all I've got. There's nothing else. Peter Petrelli, what a fucking waste that was. Why have we wasted him on this
Yeah.
game? It pisses me off. They rushed this game out. Whoever told Treyarch to do this, and then Treyarch said, "Shit, we need someone big." No, he's not the
Sell
biggest
it.
person in the world, but we need someone to sell it in the trailers and stuff.
Yeah.
What a waste. He's a good actor. He's a good person to have in the game.
Mm.
Oh, I hated it. The villain was pathetic. The game was pathetic. The Avalon map, walking around. There's points I was like, I'm just going to run. I don't need to shoot these people. I'm just going to run to the mission point, do the mission, and it was that easy. And there's even in the last mission, actually, it was the bit where you said the wheel was turning. I actually noticed in that one, you said you had 50 trillion enemies. I had like 6. So there was one part, I think Andy was probably watching that point as well, where I was just swarmed by enemies. And in the next room, or next part, there's none. And I'm like, where's the fucking balance here? And the co-op side of it is bollocks as well, because I think they don't account for how many people are in your team. It's just that is the game no matter what. If you had 4 people there, it's the same amount of enemies. If you got 1 on your own, and that's bollocks. Because the bit where you're swarmed, I'm thinking, okay, I clearly need 4 people here, but why are you not bringing this down to meet? What if I was playing with 1 person who's still struggling? It's fucking stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
It should
Because-
change.
Yeah. And also in that final mission, you then go. So I was getting swarmed at the bit of with the wheel. Then I went into the next room to do the puzzle, and you're right. I was able just to crouch, and no one came at me. And that last puzzle was also a pile of fucking shit. They tried to make them complicated, but they didn't make them complicated. They
Is that
were
the one
just
where you've got to
stupid.
move the lines?
Yeah, I got there in the end, but it was just a chore. Like all of the other ones up to the end were just so sort of straightforward. And like I said, I'm not saying that they were like complicated, like Uncharted 4, or I'm trying to think of like other puzzles that are quite complicated to get your head around. It was just a ball ache because it was just a lot of faffing and turning. And I was like, I think at one point I got everything in line, and it was like not working. I literally repeated that, and then it worked. I was like,
Yeah.
she's just done that. Why is it now working? So yeah. I mean, like I said, I am trying to be balanced. I could tell that you've got nothing positive to say. The positive bits are like probably on a Word document, the first like 3 bullet points, and the rest of it is just fucking mediocre. I do now share your point. I think it was rushed. I'd rather have no campaign at all than a campaign like that.
That is a
going to
great
have a.
point, actually. Why not?
They weren't ever.
If Call of Duty or Xbox, whoever, are that desperate for a game to come out, make another multiplayer game. If they could just focused all their efforts on multiplayer, which I've played a little bit of, I don't like it, but that's just maybe everyone's too good for me now. I don't know, but I was fine last year. But just focus on the multiplayer and the zombies, and you'll get some people be like, "I'm disappointed there's no campaign," but you won't. I have not heard a positive thing about this campaign yet from anyone. I've heard actually, IGN said it's decent, and I said that is the fucking all the proof you need right there.
That's when you know it's shit.
That's when you know it's shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
whatever IGN say, it's the opposite.
It's opposite. I mean, as I said, the only positive is that one mission for me, and our friend James, he also really liked that mission, but I knew he was going to like that mission because he loves Black Ops 1, that mission, and the zombie side. So as soon as I was playing it, I texted him and said, I think you're going to like this mission. But I know, because when Black Ops 4 came out, I remember being absolutely livid at the fact that there wasn't any campaign. But I'd rather have no campaign at all than a really shit campaign. Because what would have probably happened if it was just multiplayer and zombies, I probably would have waited for it to like go down in price and then pick it up at a later point. I mean, the only positive is that the Steelbook I did get for £54 from Amazon. So I didn't pay £70, which it is on the store. And I really do like the Steelbook. It's got Peter Petrelli on the front and the enemy on the back. But again, that's not really worth £54 if like it's probably just going to now sit there once I prestige, which, like I said, I might do like much later down the line. It's not going to be a immediate thing. I'm actually going to now play Battlefield 6, and I cannot wait for that because I just think that is going to be a proper Battlefield single player story that's going to be immersive, that's going to like look great. I mean, I even thought I played it on PlayStation 5 Pro, and it's the first game that I'm like, because some developers need to like people are using and utilizing the Pro. Call of Duty really should be doing that at this point, but they don't. Like it would have probably looked and felt the exact same on a PS5. I actually thought at times the graphics looked pretty shit. In some of the moments of the campaign, I thought
it's not. It looks like a bog standard Call of Duty. There's nothing to write home about.
Yeah, but I remember like Black Ops 6 and when Cold War came out, they looked gorgeous in the campaign. Like they looked really, really good. You could see that they had worked hard on that, and there was none of that here at all. So as I said, because they're never not going to do a Call of Duty. Let's be honest, they're never not going to have a year off. They should, I think.
Yeah, they should.
But Activision would never ever allow that.
They should, or they need another developer.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point why they had 3 in the first place, wasn't it? It was so they could have that 3-year rotation.
I don't think 3 years is enough anymore.
No, you're probably right. Obviously, the level of gaming that we're getting now is you're talking 5 to 6 years for a quality campaign game.
God of War games,
so yeah,
Last of Us games, Horizon, and I'm not expecting Call of Duty to match that, but games just typically take longer to make, especially good quality games.
Yeah, I think Call of Duty need it. They need more time now,
or a fourth developer,
because I feel like it's just the same repetitive stuff over and over. Like I obviously haven't played this one, but I can imagine the multiplayer feeling exactly the same as sort of the last one. or obviously in both your
It's
eyes
even
worse.
quicker and even more futuristic, which is probably up your alley a little bit, Andy. But
Yeah,
it
it's
hasn't
not.
gone as far as Advanced or Infinite.
Yeah, I personally prefer that type of gaming, but yeah, it's just like you say, it's rushed, and I think it's from watching your streams, Welchy, like you said as well, when you was playing through it, a lot of the stuff was familiar in terms of the
Oh,
maps and stuff.
yeah, I forgot about that.
So I think it was Stadium that you was walking through at the moment, and it's like,
Yeah,
oh, that's a map from Black Ops 6, and it's
yeah.
like,
Multiple
it's
times
just
I
so
had that.
lazy.
Multiple times I was
Yeah,
like, "Oh, this is the Black Ops 6 map." So you're
Yeah,
that lazy. If you haven't got the massive Avalon open world bit, which is shit, you're only. I haven't turned my charger on. The only bits of kind of linear-ish bits are taken from maps that you already have.
yeah,
It's just
yeah,
pathetic.
and it's yeah. And then just going back to your end stream, when you're doing the last part and you're running through, which is like a obstacle course basically, but then you're getting shot as well. Obviously,
Yeah,
obviously for me it was
yeah.
entertaining watching you play it, but
That goes
Oh
back
yeah,
to
it
my
yeah.
was
point on
stupid.
the co-op. They need to reduce the amount of enemies if it's one person, and anyone can say it's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
skill issue or whatever, but it's not. Most games, in my mind, know to tailor the difficulty to how many people are in your party.
Yeah.
If it's one
yeah,
person,
yeah.
It's just
you tailor difficulty down,
basic.
or the amount of enemies, or
But
whatever it is,
Yeah, yeah,
and you up it
they
for
usually
more.
do that with zombies.
Yeah,
Like I've on zombies, I feel like obviously they might have changed it for this one, Stephen, based on what you've said. But with zombies, if it's one person, you see a lot less zombies round one, round two, round three. If you're
yeah,
playing with two, three, four people, I feel like you do notice a difference in numbers. I don't
yeah.
know
You
about
do.
this one, but for previous CODs. So why haven't
Mm,
they done that for the campaign? Because they
mm.
obviously know to do that.
Are you also referring, Welchy, to the bit like at the very end where you're having to escape the submarine and it basically becomes like total wipeout? And there was at least 3 or 4 times where I was like, "You've got about 60 people shooting at me." In
yeah,
the end, I ran through, and I still don't quite know how I did that because I died about 4 times because I was like, "I've got to escape." You're telling me that I've got to run, so I can't
yeah.
stay in a corner and shoot. I've just got to keep running, and I keep getting reset back. But I was like, "There's surely like it kind of like just parted like the Red Sea and allowed me through." But like, yeah, that bit I was like, "What?" And it was those moments. The pace and the balance was just so
So
off
off.
on every mission that by the end of it, I was kind of just laughing. And also, I mean, that last mission, because you said to me that it's quite long, but you'll definitely do it. So I made sure that I started it like later in the evening so I wasn't like disturbed. And I did a timer. So yeah, 1 hour and 5 minutes that last mission is. Which bearing in mind all the other ones are ranging between 30 to 40 minutes.
But
Like
some of them were
that doesn't
20.
need to be that
Some
long.
of them were so quick.
Yeah.
But what I will say is that wouldn't be a problem that it's that long if you could leave and come back. You can't do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you have to continue playing until you fucking finish it. It's just fucking stupid.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that
And
last bit, Andy would see in the stream. I think I literally put the controller down and said, "Look at all the
yeah,
fire." I think you
he
get this.
did.
You get
Yeah,
like the blue shield around you. So I popped that down, and you just hear bullets going. And I was like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck am I supposed to do? I am being bombarded by these fuckers."
yeah. And obviously during your stream as well, Welcher, you got a phone call. It showed like in life
Yes,
you do get distractions, you do get things that happen in that you can't control that you
I
might
couldn't
need to
pause it.
handle. So you should be able to just pause your game and deal with those things.
Yeah.
The fact that obviously you could tell that you're sort of moving your controller with one hand while you're sort of talking on the phone. It's like you're obviously having to do that to stay active, so you don't
Yeah,
get kicked out the whole game,
We
which is stupid.
we we don't like we never used to have to do that back in the old days. And we're now in like 2025. Just pause the game.
there are games that do it.
Yeah, but that'd be
Is it the
like
Souls games? Souls games don't let you pause. Maybe there's some games don't let you pause.
I don't remember having that sort of trouble with
Demon
Souls.
Souls, you definitely can't pause, but there's ways around it. You go into photo mode, and it's like it tricks it. So there's
Yeah,
a way
yeah,
around it. Where this had nothing, obviously.
Yeah.
yeah.
It just
It
needs a
is
simple
just
setting. Like if you're not in co-op, just like I'm all for like not having difficulty, like if they had it the same. But just like say you're now solo, you are allowed to pause. That's all we needed.
yeah.
Literally
Yeah,
all
But
it's so basic. Like there's no argument that anyone can give me any reason why that would be a benefit to us playing that. I can't think
no,
of one.
Maybe they just forgot to add it while I was rushing through the campaign.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
What I will say, we haven't spoke about the actual story itself. Unbelievably boring. I couldn't care less about it. I couldn't care less about the enemies. The twist in the second or third to last mission. What the fuck? That was an insult.
Well, the funny thing is, watching your stream, Welchy, obviously I couldn't actually hear them talking in the cutscenes as well. So I was like, do they not even talk on this game? I was like, what's going on?
And I'm not going to give it credit because I'm deepening into it. The only moment that kind of touched me was when Alex and David Mason reunite, because obviously he's dead and he's reuniting him, like saying that, you know, I'm proud of you and all of that. And that touched me personally, but that's only because of what I've recently gone through in life, where I didn't get upset by it, but I was like, oh, that'd be quite cool to have that in real life. But that isn't because of Call of Duty, like being astounding in, like being emotional, which is what they were trying to do in that scene. Like, if I wasn't in my own personal circumstances, and probably yourself, Welchy, don't give a fuck. Do not care one iota. But I wasn't thinking about the characters. I was just thinking about that was quite a nice moment between a father and a son. And that shows that stories are waste of like time. I don't care about anything. And it actually has really angered me because the Black Ops 2 story is so good.
Yeah.
I remember at the time that there's an opening. I don't know if you guys remember, but there's an opening to Black Ops 2 where this young girl gets caught in a fire, and Menendez, the enemy in Black Ops 7, or the animatronic version, is holding her in his arms as she's dying, and he's about to like cut his throat, and it's set to like Elbows and Night Walls when it's like the cinematic opening. And within like 10 seconds of that, I was like, I'm in. And then you have like the mission in the militia with the dude that has the massive chainsaw that just basically like rips a guy in half. And it's a great first mission. And Black Ops 2 had all of that. It had all of those great moments. I mean, it's just an insult to the original game, because I can remember that came out in 2012. We're now in 2025. That's 13 years. And that's because it was so good that it's stayed in my memory. In like 13 years' time, I won't even remember anything of this game.
13 years' time. Try a day or two.
Yeah, try a day. Apart from that one mission, I will maintain it. That's the only point of the game that I go back and go, I actually quite like that.
The cutscene seemed pretty quick as well. Like when I was watching your stream, actually, that bit where you find out who the real traitor is. And I know I couldn't hear them actually talking, so maybe it did go for longer than what I noticed. But it felt like they just showed a quick clip and then it went on to the next mission. I was like, it just felt to me watching it from the streaming point of view. I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, was there anything important to do with the story? I was like, I didn't know.
And I don't know how they expect me to get attached to characters that I couldn't fucking see in the game.
Yeah.
They're not there.
Yeah.
They're just in the cutscenes. I'm like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
You've not been here the whole time. It's me doing it.
The other bug that I've just realised, because there would be moments where the cutscenes would repeat. So like if I exited the lobby and then restarted the next mission, it would play the previous cutscene from before. There'll be times that I could skip it, but other times that it wouldn't let me skip. But it was around the same time that I had people on the mic. So I feel like, could it be that I was connected with them, told them to fuck off? So, I mean, either they weren't there or I was just being abusive to people. So apologies to anyone out there that I might have said to fuck off because you shouldn't have been in my lobby. But then I was like, why can I not skip it? So I had to watch like repeated cutscenes at times because it wouldn't allow me to proceed. So, yeah. And I'm still bugged about that trophy because I got every other one. Right. How could I not get that trophy and get the trophy of complete the campaign?
Yeah.
Does anyone care to tell me about that?
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I think it's quite clear I don't like this game. Go watch my streams. I think half the time, like the video versions of it, I'm just saying how much I hate it.
Stream.
Yeah,
there's a bit where I was like, because I saw that you had your armor bubble thing. I was like, oh, why don't you put your armor down? And you go to put it down and get instantly killed. I was like, I felt like that was my fault.
You have armor on? The armor plates?
No, not
armor plates. There's like
the armor bubble.
This game has abilities. It has fucking kill streaks, which is fucking stupid as well.
When you took the shield, because I used that a couple of times towards the end of the game, but did you not have armor plates equipped? So was you down lower health?
I had armor plates as well, but it's just too many fucking enemies.
It was just bad timing where I was like, why don't you put it down? He goes to put it down, he just gets bombarded with shots and died instantly. It was just, it was quite funny.
I really wanted to set a challenge of going through the entire campaign and not dying. And then when I got to points that I died when it was just impossible, I was like, oh, well, fuck that challenge for a laugh. And then I was like,
I'm not even saying it on a skill basis, that the amount of enemies that you have in one time, if you're playing it solo,
yeah.
I don't think it's possible because they just overload you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
But
was
then at
one
times they act
mission.
like complete idiots. That's what makes it even more annoying. They're not like
There's
it
no
all the
consistency
time.
at all. It's so poorly put together, which you don't expect from Call of Duty. Black Ops 6, amazing. The Modern Warfare reboot had some missions I'll never ever forget. The original Modern Warfare trilogy, the original World at War, the Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2. I hate
Yeah.
Black Ops 3, but even Black Ops 3 is better than this shit. It's
Yeah, the
It's
campaign
almost
Black
like
Ops 3
this
was
was
alright.
it's almost like this campaign was meant to be a separate game mode that they was potentially working on, and
I
was
think
going to
it
like
was with
release it
Endgame,
alongside a
and maybe
campaign.
this is their test.
Yeah.
Oh, do people like it? No, we fucking don't. So we'll never see this again. I
No.
think the good thing about this game is that it's so bad that next year is going to be good because it can't be
Next
worse.
year,
It has to be better.
and next year's going back to Infinity Ward. So that
If they announce Black Ops 8, I will fucking rage because I will be like, give Treyarch a fucking break.
like we've had 2 years of Black Ops now. It has kind of tainted the Black Ops.
Exactly,
Where
it
we had that
has.
debate of is Modern Warfare more superior to Black Ops?
It
And
is now.
I do lean more towards Modern Warfare anyway, but there are moments in Black Ops that are done better than some of the aspects of the Modern Warfare trilogy. Not
fair.
mine, but there's certain like moments and missions where I'm like,
But
that
it's-
is incredible.
It's very interesting. I never played Modern Warfare 2 reboot or Modern Warfare 3 reboot. But
Okay,
from
yeah,
what
they're
I
very
know,
good.
from what I know, Modern Warfare 3 campaign reboot is not good. But the Modern Warfare
Okay.
2 one was good. So from what I can see, those two came back to back, and that went down like a lead balloon. At least the campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
Black
mean,
Ops 6 and
I
7 go
remember
back to back, and the second one goes down like a lead balloon. So
yeah,
have they not learned their lesson? You go back to back just because that one did well does not mean they can do it
Yeah.
in 1 year. It takes them so long to make good, proper campaigns.
it's
Yeah.
a good point. I remember enjoying the Warfare 3 campaign. I can't remember if it was 2 or 3. One of them, because I did both on Veteran, and I remember one of them adopted to an open world approach in
I think
certain
that's 3.
missions. Okay, so I enjoyed the campaign, but it was fucking horrendously difficult to do on Veteran because you had to base it. I think there was one mission that I spent about 2.5 hours on.
Well,
because
there's one which you can beat in like hours. That's the one no one liked. I'm
Yeah,
sure that's the case.
I can't remember. Obviously, Veteran, you spend longer anyway on your playtime because you can't just breeze through it. You'll just die. But there was a few missions where it was open world, and if you died, it took you very back to the beginning of the game. So you had to be really, really clever with your moves. And maybe people didn't like that. Take away the Veteran side, they just didn't like that gimmick. And I can't remember if that was 2 or 3, but there was definitely one that was more intense. But this is just another. It's in its own league of how awful like it is. I also will say there's a caveat to that, watch, because if all of the enemies were consistently like that in terms of like overwhelming you all the way throughout, it'd be even worse. At least we did get a bit of respite and we're able to get through. So even though I'm critiquing that, it allowed me to get through the campaign to the end.
But they've
If
gone,
it was
they've
like that
gone
the
the
whole
two
way
wrong
through,
ways. They've gone the two
I
extremes.
know they have. But if you imagine if the whole campaign would be like that, again, it'd be a similar
Yeah.
process where we wouldn't be like, we would get to the point where like, fuck this shit, keep dying.
But Black Ops
like,
6 did that better. Black Ops 6 has those crazy
Yeah.
moments, the action-packed moments. Then you get the mission where you do the casino, where it's you're excited and what's going on, but it's slower. You're doing certain things, which
Yeah.
not really much action,
Yeah.
but it's cool stuff. Or you got the one where you're a photographer and you see Bill Clinton,
Yeah.
you do that bit. All things that are memorable and different and fun to do. And at the end of that mission, it does go a bit crazy, but the pacing works. This is just slop. It is just slop.
Yep.
And it's a disgrace. So I'm looking here, Modern Warfare 3 reboot. It received backlash for the campaign being a glorified expansion. I wouldn't even call this an expansion. This is just pure dog shit. So
Yeah.
at least they're saying it's basically a small, too short. There could have just been a DLC for Modern Warfare 2. That doesn't necessarily mean it's
Yeah.
bad. It's just that it's way too short. Whereas this, 11 hours is a fine length for a game. Well, it wasn't even 11 hours, was it? It took me about 6 or 7.
Yeah, I think I did about 8 to 9 hours.
'Cause
roughly.
some missions were 20 minutes, some were 30, 35, then the last one was
Well,
an hour.
The first one I played like relentlessly carefully because at that point I didn't realize that it would
There
reward you quite kindly
was
with deaths.
yeah.
So I like, and I was killing everybody. And then when like I spoke to you and then I did a bit of research and realized that you don't have to, because man, if you try and kill every single enemy, I'd still be fucking playing the game now. That's
Yeah.
how many there are. So I'm kind of glad that I realized quite early on that you didn't need to play it in that sort of way. And at times I actually felt quite bad because I was like, I'm literally purposely avoiding enemies here, but killing them serves really no point because you go to another bit of the open world and you can still do what you need to do. I mean, they're shooting you from like 400 meters away. Like you ain't hitting me, you ain't reaching me that far away. I also there was one point where I basically swallowed a bomb, and there was like one of these bombers that had like the grenade launchers, and they were like right at the very top of like a sort of metal sort of barrier, and because I kept going, I killed everyone. Who the fuck keeps
That might be the
like
same
destroying
bit
my
I kept
armor?
getting, yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, it's that guy. So he got a sniper shot to the head, but they like,
Oh,
hid him away.
I literally remember that on your stream. Actually,
Yeah.
it's the same bit. That's
Yeah.
funny. Yeah.
We need to wrap up because we're 55 minutes, so we've got about 56 now, 4 minutes to go. I've not given a score. I wanted to give this a 3 because one, it might be slightly better in co-op, although I don't think it will be. 2, they gave you the third person option, and I actually quite like the grapple hook. That's one positive. The grapple hook was fun to use, but it
Yeah, it was
didn't
actually.
utilize it properly. Also, I've got so many negatives about this game. The whole new movement system, right? In the multiplayer, it's used a fair bit. Like they've designed the maps around the new movement system.
Yeah, like
There's
the kinetic
one
jumps
mission
and
that I
stuff.
can think of that used it in the campaign, and that was the one I liked, the hijacked one. Why
Yeah.
not use it more? If that's I don't know why. It's because it's rushed. Anyway, and I have not given a score for zombies. So zombies. It sounds like it's probably the best part of this game. So it feels like as a whole package, this might be a 3. From
Yeah.
my experience, I'm giving this a 1. This is a fucking disgrace.
Yeah. Let's go.
And it saddens me that I've given this a score lower than Lost Records because
That
I
is
hate
brutal.
Lost Records as well. But at least Lost Records had a vision.
That was a new experiment for you.
It had a vision. They stuck to it. I didn't like it. I feel insulted by this game. So I feel like I have to give it a 1. And a realistic score is probably not that. I'm not saying this is a 1 and it's a 1 for everyone. I get that people like zombies, people like the multiplayer. But for me, this is a 1 out of 10 experience.
I just want to say that off air, I predicted both your scores.
You did.
Spot on.
You did.
No, you did. Also, before we wrap up, what score did I give Funko Fusion out of curiosity? Just comparing it to.
I haven't got it on here. But
Okay.
I think you gave it low. I don't think you gave it a 1 though.
I was wondering, is this on par with the only other game that I've given a really bad score would have been Funko Fusion, and I probably would have given Funko Fusion around the same mark, only because there's a couple of cool moments, pop culture references, and again, the final mission for Call of Duty is kind of the exact same as what Funko Fusion does let you pause, but like just an hour and 20 minutes of button mashing in its final fight, and I remember thinking that is just the tip of a really shitty iceberg, but yeah, it's a shame. Hopefully it redeems itself next year, but it's worried me now because like they're all together, not like Treyarch are their own entity. Infinity Ward, they all kind of fit in the same like table as each other now.
Yeah.
And that worries me that if they're not going to fuck it up again, but they easily fucking could.
What pissed me off was Treyarch put a post up saying, "We thank you all for your positive feedback." I was like, "You fucking sarcastic pricks! You've not had any positive feedback on this campaign, at least." That really pissed me off when I saw that. I was like, "You are genuinely taking the piss." Cool. We need to wrap up. We need to go and do another podcast. So, before that, any final thoughts, Stephen?
No, just I think we've done really well in terms of like talking about it. I think even though we've been very, very harsh, I also think we've been sort of fair to it. Like we have praised it in any way that we've had to dig really deep to get that praise.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm always sort of I appreciate moments that are good. But but this is absolutely the worst Call of Duty. Before this, it was Call of Duty 3 because that was also rushed. Treyarch only had about 8 months to develop that game, and I thought the campaign was like awful. It was the only campaign that I played that I just didn't really connect. And multiplayer did one game, was like, fuck this is shit. Again, another Treyarch game. So the two worst games for me are both Treyarch developments, and that was before we got the whole Modern Warfare cycle and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a real shame, and hopefully next year will be much better.
Hopefully. Well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Late Night Gamer podcast. Let us know your thoughts on Black Ops 7. Do you agree with our very negative review, or do you have a more positive thoughts? Drop your thoughts in the comments or tag us on socials at the Late Night Pods. We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed the episode, please make sure to follow and subscribe wherever you're listening. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss next episode. Speaking of which, next time we are reviewing, or Andy is reviewing, Blueprints. He's also reviewing another game, a surprise title. Stephen has a surprise horror game to talk about, and I'm going to be talking about my love for Rematch again. Until then, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. I've been your host, Welchy, and joined, as always, by my co-hosts, Andy.
Yeah, thank you as always, guys. It's been a pleasure, and it's been fun to sit on the sidelines and watch Welchy and Stephen go at Black Ops 7. So yeah, been fun.
And Stephen.
Yeah, I feel a weight has been lifted from my shoulders, all that anger and aggression out, and hopefully it's going to be a more positive second part this week. But yeah, been a pleasure as always.
And also shout out for Jack for sending in his Black Ops 7 thoughts as well. Thanks again for listening, and keep on gaming.